Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be reading from Goethe's Faust, Goethe's translation. This copy, well, I know as a fact, this copy was published in 1889, and there's a signature in here. In 1921. And excuse the paint on my hands. It doesn't come off easily after work. I have scrubbed my hands. Dedication. Ye shifting forms, again do ye draw nigh, that once did I show to my sad gaze, this time to hold ye fast essay shall I feel my heart is bent upon the craze ye throng around, will rue as ye pass by, my mind materialized from mist and haze. I feel my bosom stirred by youthful force, the magic breath that plays you about your course. Of happier days the phantasms bring to you, and many a darling shadow doth arise. A legend half forgot, 'tis like unto, come thou, first love, and friendship come likewise. The pains recalled, and we plain us anew. Of life's devious and labyrinthine guise, name too those worthies who in their fair day, betrayed by fate, for me have passed away. They cannot talk into the following song, those souls for whom the first one I essayed. Despaired is that amicable throng, and hushed at last the echo that they made. My song doth sound, an unknown crowd among, e'en their applause doth make my heart afraid, and those who once took pleasure in my lay, if they still live, are scattered far away. A yearning takes me forgot long ago, for that unruffled solemn spirit, and notes uncertain come with wafted low, like an alien harp, my lisping strain, a tremor hath me, tears on tears do flow. My austere heart grows mild and soft again. The things I have I see as 'twere afar, those which were lost to me are now real are. Stage prologue. Manager, poet, and merryman. Manager. Ye twain who have so oft before in stress and trouble lay by me stood, say what ye think in Germany should be hoped of this endeavor. I greatly wish to please the multitude, because it lives and would let live withal. The posts are up and boarding is made good, and everyone expects a festival. Already they are there, with eyebrows raised, sit patiently and fain would be amazed. To hit the public taste, I know the way, yet never before was so embarrassed. Not used to the stress, used to the best, 'tis true they are, but when they are so terribly well read, how shall we manage all that all fresh and new, be and with meaning and be pleasing too? In sooth, it likes me well the crowd to see, when that the stream towards our stage doth course, and in repeated throes doth vigorously surge through the narrow gate, of grace perforce. By light of day, before 'tis fore, with wind blows their way, into the office make, and like in famine times before the baker's door, to get a ticket risk their necks to break. This wonder on such various people may the poet solely work friend dote today. Poet. Oh, speak not to me of that motley tide, before whose glance our spirit all doth flee. From all that surging crowd do thou me hide, that draws us in the whirl unwillingly. No, to some quiet heavenly corner guide me, where pure joy blooms for the poet only, where love and friendship, blessings of the heart, are made and nurtured by the divine art. Alas, what from our innermost breast proceeds, that which the trembling lips will scarcely own, mistaken now, that now, perchance succeeds by the wild moment's power is swallowed down. Oft many a year's development it needs, ere it shall to its finished form have grown, nor tinsel for the moments born, solely the real remaineth for posterity. Merriman. What of posterity I heard not, ne'er granted. To talk of them I ready were, who'd make sport for the present day, that they have, that they shall, and have that they shall. The presence of a jolly lad withal, methinks it is something too, alway. He who can say what he would genially, him will with the public's humour ne'er make sore. A larger circle wisheth he, to agitate them all the more. Be bold then, show yourselves in master fashion. Let fantasy be heard with all her root, reason, intelligence, sentiment, and passion. But mark ye, folly must not be left out. Manager. Above all, let there enough action be, they come to look, and they like best to see, if many things before their eyes be spun, at which the wondering multitude may stare, then straight a reputation have ye won. So, and a much favor man are there, only through mass can ye coerce the masses. Each one will pick out something finally, who doth bring much, brings something for all classes, and each will leave the house contentedly. Act ye at peace, and peace is given straight away, it must ye speed your fine melody, as easily presented as thought out. What boots it if a whole ye have brought out, the public will dissect it anyway. Poet, you cannot feel how wretched such a work must be, how little the true artist doth beseem. The bungling of your fine gentry, I see you do model deem. Manager. Such a reproach leave me inviolate. He who good work doth meditate must use the tools that are most fit. Bethink you 'tis soft wood you have to split. And then, for whom your writing see, this one comes driven by ennui, and comes from the table overfed, and what the worst of all too, be full many a one that hath the papers read. Idly they hurry to us as 'twere a masquerade. Each step is winged by mere curiosity. Ladies themselves and finery parade. Act with us sans salary. What dream you on your poetic height? Why doth a full house please you more? Look on your patrons, they're all right. The half are cold, and the half are raw. That the played on doth for the green cloth long, and that for a wild night upon a wench's breast. Poor fools, why would you still then wrong? The muse is sweet on such a quest. Only give only more, and always, always more, say I. Your way you'll never be at a loss to find unto your goal. But fool mankind, 'tis difficult to satisfy. What ails you, ecstasy or pain is stay? Begone and seek thou some other thrall. The poet thou'dst have, the highest gift of all. The right of manhood nature hath him lent, for thy sake fatuously a fool away. By what means doth he all hearts sway? By what means rule each element? Is it not harmony that in his bosom springs, and in his heart embalmeth earthly stings? When that her threads eternal length callous Dame Nature twists, and on the spindle brings, when all the masses of beings inharmonious, all froward, and sans odor rings, who parts the flowering ever equal course, and quickens it to pulsate rhythmically? Who joins each unit in one common force, where it doth beat in heavenly harmony? Who bids the storm within our passions roar? Bids glow in pensive souls the evening sun? Who is it doth all sweet the spring blossoms pour upon the path of the loved one? Who insignificant green leaves doth twine, to crown with honor worth in every field? The shores Olympus knit the gods divine, the power of man that in the poets revealed. Merriman, then use these noble powers to press along the poet's business. As one a love adventure carries on, one meets by chance, once moved, one tarries on, and by degrees one gets into a tangle. Your bliss doth wax, and by you wrangle, and one is enraptured, then there cometh care, and ere one doth observe it, there's a romance there. Let us too some such drama give, seek boldly in the life that mankind lived. Each lives it, to not many it is known, 'twill interest wherever it is shown. Bright pictures little perspicacity, much error, one spark of veracity. With these you may the best drink brew, the world to quicken and its life renew. Youth's fairest blossoms thorough collected be, before you play, watch its development. And from your work each tender entity will suck a melancholy nourishment. Now this, now that, is touched on by your art, and each one sees that he hath in his heart. Ready the god of her art to laugh or cry, admire the goal, delight in what they see. Your finished man, you never can satisfy. A mind uniform or unformed will ever grateful be. Poet, then give me too again those days, when still I unformed myself I was, when like a stream the thronging lays born uninterrupted me, when the mist did hide the world, and still the buds did promise wonders rare. When I called myriad blossoms fair, that rich all the veil did fill, not had I yet sufficiency. Thirst for truth, love of the illusory. Give me the uncurbed, that appetite, that deep delight akin to pain. The force of hate, of love the might. Oh, give me back my youth again. Merriman. Youth, my good friend, thou wouldst require, of course, when by thy foes in battle pressed, when fascinating maids perforce do hang themselves upon thy breast, when in the race hard fought run, afar doth back the crown of pay, when the impetuous round dance dawn one feasts and drinks the night away, yet the similar strings with the soul and gracefulness to play upon, and towards a self-erected goal, with sweet digressions wander on. This, ancient sirs, is your business, and for we were no less, do honor ye. Age leads not, as folks say, to childishness. It finds us still but childish, verily. Words you've exchanged in manager. Words you've exchanged in sufficience. Let me at length see deeds begun. While ye are turning compliments, something useful might be done. What boots much talk of mood withal? A waverer never in mood will be. If ye yourselves would poets call, why then command your poetry? Ye know what we want well enough. 'Tis strong drink that we wish to quaff. Now do ye brew it, me anon. What is not done today, neither tomorrow's done. Let ne'er a day pass by vacantly. What's possible should a robust resolve seize at its rise instantly. You'll not let it escape presently. You'll labor on because you must. Upon our German stage you wot, each that him liketh doth essay. Therefore your scenery today. In engines see ye spare me not, the great and lesser heavenly light supply. In stars ye may be prodigal, of fire, of water, fire, and rocky wall. The birds and beasts there is plenty, thus through our narrow booth today of boards march on. The total round of creation, with a discreet speed travel, from heaven on through the world to hell. Prologue in heaven. The Lord and the heavenly host, afterwards Mephistopheles. The three archangels come forward. Raphael. Still choirs the sun are as formerly, his brother spheres to emulate as their appointed journey. He with thunder peals doth terminate, the aspect angels' strength doth lend. Though none their mystery fathom may, thy works too great to comprehend are glorious as on the first day. Gabriel. With swiftness past conception great, earth's splendor turns about. The light of paradise doth alternate with deep and horrifying night. The sea doth mighty waves of spray up deep base rocky faces hurl, and rock and sea are torn away in that swift eternal planet whirl. Michael. And storms in opposition boil from sea to land to sea, and form a chain in wild turmoil around the deepest mystery. Thence wasting lightning flashes clear, therefore, before the thunder pathway, thy messengers, O Lord, revere, thy mild procession of thy day. The three. The aspect of angels strength doth lend, since none thy being fathom may, and all thy works without an end are glorious as on the first day. Mephistopheles. Since thou, O Lord, again once more nearest thee, and dost inquire how all things go with us go, and thou with pleasure wert won't hear me see, or to me see. Thou seest among thy vassals me also. Thy pardon I have. I know high-flown words possess. E'en though thy circle all scorn me, therefore my pathos would but make thee laugh, doubtless, as 'twere not and thou laughest no more. Report on sun in the worlds I cannot present. I do but see how men themselves torment. The little god of earth still ticketh evenly, still wondrous as on the first day is he. A little happier be he might, hadst thou not given him seemingly heavenly light. He calls it reason, and solely beastlier than beasts to be. He doesn't apply, he seemeth me with thy gracious favour to be any long-legged grasshopper that ever flies in flying springs, and in the grass straightway the old song sings. Would in the grass he'd always lie, he must his nose in every piece of garbage thrust. The Lord. Hast thou naught else to say to me? Dost thou ever come to plain thee? There is nothing on the earth to thee right? Mephistopheles. Nay, Lord, I do as ever find all's wrong there, quite, and I do pity mankind for their sufferings, and scarce myself would harass the poor things. The Lord. Dost Faustus know? Mephistopheles. The doctor? The Lord. Yea, the white. Mephistopheles. In sooth he serveth thee in wondrous wise. The whitle's meat is of no earthly guise. A firmament drive him on afar, half conscious is he of his lunacy. From heaven he calleth down each brightest star, and from earth each highest fantasy. Nor all's that's near, nor all that's far, he moved deep moved breast can ever satisfy. The Lord. What though he now distraughtly served me, soon to the light of day I will lead him. Knoweth not the gardener with green decked a tree, coming near with blossom and fruit would be. For that. Mephistopheles. What wilt thou gauge? Thou'lt lose him yet indeed, if thou the license wilt me give. Him gently down the road, my road to lead. The Lord. So long as he doth on earth doth live, so long 'tis not prohibited, for man must err while he doth strive. Mephistopheles. I thank thee for in people dead I never could take an interest. It is your full fresh cheeks I soothe that like me best. Your corpses I do ne'er deign to see. It is as a cat and mouse business with me. The Lord. 'Tis well, 'tis granted to thee. Draw the spirit from its fountain head astray, and lead him, if thou canst, him claw with thee upon thy downward way, and stand ashamed when driven to confess in the dark struggle that he that is righteous still the good way holds in his consciousness. Mephistopheles. 'tis will, long will it not take us. Methinks my wager no whit perilous. If I should compass my purpose, thou'lt let me triumph in all heartiness. Dust shall eat with greediness, like to my aunt the serpents notorious. The Lord, thereto I give thee dispensation, for I did never loathe to see the like of thee. Of all the spirits of negation, the cozeners least odious unto me. Man's waning energy too lately needs renewing. He soon perverteth ease inviolate. Therefore I gave him an associate who stirs and works, and must as devil be doing. And ye, true sons of God, do ye rejoice in all this living rich beauty, the formative that liveth, striveth ever, the gentle bonds of love cast around ye cast, and what in fickle phantasm doth waver? With this enduring see that ye make fast. Heaven closes and the archangels disperse, Mephistopheles alone. I like at times the ancient ones to see, and not to break, with him I seek, and showeth so great a Lord comely, so humbly with the devil himself to speak. The tragedy. I've come now, ah me, philosophy, jurisprudence, medicine, and save the mark, theology deep studied with endeavor keen. Now stand I here, poor simple I, and I am as wise as formerly. Master, O doctor, styleth forsooth. Have led hard on 10 years in truth, crosswise, and crooked and deeps and out my scholars. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted at the second moment. I will get back to reading. And I'm going to tell you I might take a few breaks for water. Now stand I here, poor simple I, and am as wise as formerly, master and doctor styled forsooth, have led hard on 10 years in truth, crosswise and crooked and deeps and out my scholars by the nose about. And see that we can nothing learn, it makes my heart within me burn. True, I outskill these triflers all, at least doctors and masters, writing men and priests, no scruple doth plague me, or even misdoubt, no hell doth fright me, nor fiend thereout, yet with it too all gladness has gone quiet. Never dream I now of seeking what is right. Never dream I ought to teach by which I could better mankind or turn him back to good. Nor own I whether goods or gold, nor worldly pomp nor honors hold. No dog like this would longer live. Therefore I do myself to magic give, that I through spirit, power, and speech may many a darksome secret reach. No more with bitter toil shall go to teach things I do not know, and shall the guiding essence see that binds the world eternally. I see every force and every seed, a dull word mongering no more need. Fair moon, would thou that thou didst now shine the last time on these cares of mine, whom I so oft saw rise, while that I at my desk o' midnight sat. Then shimmering over book and scroll, a mournful friend thy bright beam stole. Ah, but could I but on mountain height wander in thy tender light, with spirits float around each ravelin, o'er meadows hover in thy sheen, from fogs of science erase, or eased and free, bathe in thy dews, and healthful be. Still in this prison life I pass, this cursed musty cell lost, where the fair light of heaven scarce streams through the painted casement panes. By these dim books hemmed in am I, where the worms deep burrow, dust of bound, for even to the roof piled high, the grimy leaves are stacked around. Cases and glass surround me here, with each instrument crammed full. With antique obscure in them jammed. That is thy sphere, 'tis called a sphere. And seekest thou what thy heart would fain, sees fearful in thy breast to plague, wherefore in unexplained pain the pulses of thy life would stay. 'Tis that in lively nature's stead that God and man whilom did seat, are skeletons, bones of the dead, and misconventions, clouds of fate. Arise, fly forth through the wide land, this book so full of mystery, by Nostradamus' proper hand, it's not sufficient guide for thee. Then shalt thou learn the starry course, and when thee nature's self shall teach, then shall expand all thy soul's force, as spirit with spirit holdeth speech. In vain would hear thy sense dry, the sacred symbols render clear. Ye hover round, ye spirits nearby, answer me, if that ye hear. He opens the book and sees the sign of macrocosm. Aha! What sweet enchantment in the sight doth suddenly through all my senses flow? I feel a new and heavenly light. In life again through nerve and artery glow. Was it a deity that the sign did trace, that doth my inward raging still, and with my delight my poor heart fill, and do by inward mystic grace all nature's forces round me open to my skill? Am I a god? All groweth so clear as I gaze on those fair signs there. All nature's workings to my soul lie there. The first of the sages' meaning doth appear. The spirit world is not barred out. Thy sense is locked, thy heart is dead. Up, student, bathe with courage stout. Thy earthly beast in morning red, he considers the sign. How all things to a whole do weep. Each and the other work and live, and as heavenly forces rising and descending, and each to each the golden buckets sending, with wafted beats that blessings bring from heaven on through the earth passing, throughout the all harmonious ring. A brave show but alas, but show there, where may I grasp thee, boundless nature, where? Ye breasts, where are ye? of all life, this source, whereupon both heaven and earth depend, whither the heart doth wend. Ye flow, ye give to drink, while I must pine perforce. He indignantly turns over the leaves and sees the sign of the spirit of the earth. How differently upon me works the sign, spirit of the earth. I feel thou art nigher. E'en now I feel my powers waxing higher. E'en now I glow as from a new wine. Into the world I feel a strength to dare the woes of earth's happier to bear. To buffet with tempestuous air, and in the crushing shipwreck feel no fear. Clouds close over me, the moon doth hide her light, the lamp burns dim, mist form red rays do shoot about my head, and from above a horror comes and closes over to me. I feel it, thou floatst about me, spirit prayer born. Reveal thyself, how my heart within is torn, with my feelings new, all my senses convulsed too. All my heart I feel to thee is forced. Thou must, and if my life it cost. He takes the book and secretly pronounces the sign of the spirit. A red flame shoots up, in which the spirit appears. Spirit, who calls me? Faustus with averted face. Fearsome form of fright, spirit, hast powerfully drawn me here. Long hast been working at my sphere, and now, Faustus, I may not bear thy sight, spirit. To look upon me thou didst painting pray. To hear my voice, my countenance to see. Thy mighty prayer deep from thy soul moved me. Here I am. What poor fears betray, and nigh overwhelm thee? Where is thy soul's vocation? The breast that to a world did give creation, and bore and fostered that in ecstasy aspired of us the spirits appear to be. Where art thou, Faustus, whose voice did me sound, and in my ears with mighty power resound? Art thou he, thou whom e'en my breath doth blight, whose inmost shaking the being shakes with fright? A fearful fleeing, writhing swarm. Faustus, shall I yield thing of flame to thee? It is I, Faustus, thy peer, see. Spirit, in life's deep flood, in action's storm, I flickering wave look to and fro. Birth and the grave, eternal flow, weft unchanging still, life that doth thrill. And so on time's humming loom I weave the living garb of deity. Faustus, since the wide world thou roam'st around, thou busy spirit, how near I feel to thee. Spirit, in him thou comprehendest, thy likes found, not me. Vanishes. Faustus overwhelmed. Not thee, whom then, I, God's own image, and not even like thee, enough. 'Sdeath, my Famulus, I know 'tis he. My fairest chances rendered naught, that this rare scene so richly wrought should by curtains blotted be. Wagner. In dressing gown and nightcap, with a lamp in his hand, Faustus turns toward him reluctantly. Pardon. I heard you did declaim. Doubtless it was you read Greek tragedy? I too would gladly profit in the same, for much may now be done thereby. Oft have I heard it said, as teacher and actor might indeed improve a preacher. Faustus, ay, when your priest acting is inclined, as haply now and then the case may be. Wagner. Ah, when in a museum one is confined, and scarce e'en holidays the world may see. Scarce, through an optic glass afar indeed, How by persuasion can one mankind lead? Faustus. Unless you feel it can never be caught, unless it riseth from your soul, and doeth with natural charm untaught. The hearts of all who here control, use paste and scissors, sit there ever, from others fair concoct your hash, and blow the starveling flames together, out from your little heap of ash, to child or ape a wondrous sight, if your taste lie that way indeed. Yet heart to heart you never will unite, save it doth from your heart proceed. Wagner. Yet ready speech doth make the speaker hit. I feel it forsooth, though I be far from it. Faustus. Seek but an honest gain to find, no hollows, tinkling foolishness. For reason and true sense combined with little art themselves express, and if you are ardent ought to speak, isn't needful to you words to seek? Yeah, your speech is with that brilliance glow, in which you twirl your paper men withal, are unrefreshing as fog winds that blow amidst the withered leaves in autumn fall. Wagner. Ah me, how long is art? Our life too short alway, full oft amid my critical essay. I fear me for my head and heart, are very hard to win, that means it is. Whereby one riseth to the source, and e'en before one hath passed half the course, must a poor devil die, I wis. Faustus. Must parchment then the holy fountain be, from which one draught for ever stills one's thirst? The quickening shalt thou ne'er win thee, if from thy soul it doth not rise up. Wagner. Pardon, 'tis great delight to cast oneself into the spirit of the past, to see all that a wise man hath before us brought. First taught. And Marcus splendid we have onwards wrought. Faustus. I am marrying into the stars so far, my friend, the antique times of old are now. The antique times of old are now sealed, seven-sealed book to us by what the spirit of times he mean. At bottom but your own times are, I ween, in which the ages mirrored lie. In sooth too oft his charge and sore, one would at first glance fain turn away. It is a dustbin and a lumber store, while at the best it is a high stage play, with excellent pragmatic maxims teeming, such as a puppet's mouth are well beseeming. Wagner. Nay, but the world, man's heart and spirit withal, sure every one would somewhat of it know. Faustus. Aye, that which men do knowledge call, who dares its right name on the child's bestow? The few of them who knew something thereof learnt, and whose full hearts too weakly could not hide their feelings from the mob, but their views notified mankind, hath ever crucified or burnt. I prithee, friend, it is now deep in the night. Our talk must this time interrupted be. Wagner. Indeed, I had watched ever with delight in converse with you, thus so learnedly. Nathless tomorrow, since 'tis Easter day, I will allow myself a further say. With ardor to my studies I've applied. 'Tis true I know, who know it all beside. Exit. Faustus alone. How hope doth never wholly leave the mind, that cleaveth into vapidness evermore. that digs with eager hand for ore, and jubilates if it do earthworms find. Dare human voices of such sort here be, where all about me spirits now did rest. Yet for this time I thank thee, of all the sons of earth the sorriest, for thou didst tear me from that desperate state, when all my senses did begin to reel. Alas, the vision was so giant great, that like a dwarf indeed I needs must feel. I, image of the deity that did seem to mirror that of eternal truth near, joyed in myself in light so heavenly clear, and in all earthly coil was rid. I, more than cherub, did hope to free force through nature's veins already now had flown, and in creating godlike joys I'd own, misjudged my powers, how must I for it atone? One word of thunder all aside did toss. I may not measure myself unto thee. In the power I had to draw thee to me, to hold thee captive, I had no resource. In that same blessed moment I did feel myself so small, so great, thou didst repulse me cruelly, back to mankind's uncertain state. Who will teach me from what refrain? Shall that impulse then obey? Alas, our deeds themselves, e'en as our pain, impede us ever in life's way to noblest aims, those by the soul received extraneous matters more and more dear. When we fear the good things of this world achieve, the better fraud and error appear. Our nobler feelings that our life birth gave are palsied neath the busy earthy wave. Through fantasy did one adventurous flight, buoyed with hope, stretched to eternity. Yet now a little space, sufficient, quiet. When at times whirlpool joys on joys wrecked be, care nestles deep at once within the heart, and there doth work hidden, hurt and smart. Restless she rocks herself, desires and peace doth shake, and ever and anon new masks doth take. Sometimes as home and court, as wife and child, she'll be as fire, as water, poison, steel. Thou dreadst all things thou never shalt feel, and ever dost bewail what never was reft from thee. The gods I match not with, I feel it too deep. I match the worms that through the dust do creep, for since in dust they live, and have their nature the wanderer's steps destroys and gives sepulture. It is with dust of 100 shelves, is it not, that these high walls do trouble me? With lumbered toys of 1,000 shapes I wot, crushed in this mothy world I be. Shall I find what I am wanting here? Shall I forsooth 1,000 volumes read, to tell me men have fretted everywhere? with here and there a happy one indeed. Why dost thou grin at me, thou empty skull? Save that thy brain, like mine, was once tangled, the light of day did seek, and the twilight dull. Desiring truth, was piteously misled. Ye instruments, forsooth, do mock at me. With cog and wheel, and hoop and cock, I face the door, and ye should be the key. Your words are cunning, true, yet ope ye not the lock. Mysterious seen in the light of day. Nature will not be ravished of her veil, and what she will not to thy spirits display. By skill or letter to elicit thou wilt frail, thou antique garniture, ne'er used by me, you're ne'er used by me. Art here because my father used ye all. Thou ancient parchment, thou hast been grimy, e'er since upon this desk, lamp burnt dim withal. That little bitter I had squandered in the past, that underneath that little encumbered here to groan, the heritage thou from thy father's hast. First, when thou shouldest, ere thou dost own, what one needs not, a burden grows at last. But what the moment brings, that can one use alone. Yet why upon that spot do I then fix my sight? Is it that flask out yon a magnet to my eye? Why breaketh o'er me suddenly sweet light, as when a thick wood one cometh in moonshine? I do salute thee, rarest vial. Thence I lift thee down with all due reverence. I thee and I honor mankind's art and skill. Thou quisitance of all sweet sleeping draughts, thou extract of the finer deadly crafts. Now show unto thy master thy goodwill. I look on, my pain is mitigated. I handle thee, my struggles are abated. The spirit's flood tide gradually ebbs away. To the ocean's wide driven out I am. Beneath my feet the shining waters lie. Enticed to new shores by a newborn day, a fiery chariot on light wings floats to me. And I prepared feel I be, to press by a new course the aether through, unto new spheres of pure activity. This lofty life, this heavenly delight, thou erst a worm, canst thou ever learn? Yes, to the pleasant earthly sun for right, thy back determinately turn, there manfully to fling apart the portals, that each one else would gladly slink him by. 'Tis by time to demonstrate that mortals in manhood even with the gods may vie. There not to tremble for the dark abyss, or phantasmy to self-wrought torture damns. Towards that passage onward press, around whose narrow mouth the whole hell flames. Decide to take this step with cheerfulness, and even though thou dost risk falling to nothingness, and come down, thou cup of crystal clear, from which that ancient casket to me here, on which for many a year I have not thought, thou at my father's festive board did shine, did solemn guests to mirth incline, when from the one unto the other brought the many skilful pictures richly wrought, the drinker and in rhyming verse to explain, and in one breath, then all thy depth to drain, with memories of youthful nights art fraught. Unto no neighbour shall I pass thee now, my wit upon thy pictures no more. Show a truce doth drunken, making space most short, is here with brown flood fills thy cavity, by me prepared, chosen by me, be my last drink now, for my whole soul be a higher and solemn greeting to the morning brought. Puts the goblet to his lips. And next time we will start with the chorus of angels. Well, I hope that you found this reading relaxing, and that you are looking forward to hearing more as much as I am looking forward to making more. So, it was a very simple video, I know, but I hope you enjoy it. That you liked some of the sounds, and if there's anything you'd like to hear me do more with the book while I read, let me know. Next week I'll be better prepared. This is kind of just an impromptu video. But have a good night, sleep well, and sweet dreams.